I don't know, Mr. Gagliardi, not to put you on the spot, I know you work with other districts, how they handle this policy. Is there, I personally, when it had come up, I had asked Ms. Alvarez about the remote participation because I had seen it in just a couple of other districts. Majority of them do not, I will be completely honest. I just know, you know, being someone who would maybe wanted to speak before but had a young family, where I may not be able to come to a meeting at 10 o'clock at night, or we have a large population of senior citizens, that was something where I felt it would be good for them to have their comments heard as well. But I also do understand the element of we can't, you know, gauge who is coming on and all of that. So, you know, I definitely respect what the committee said. But Mr. Gagliardi, if you have any advice here.
May I, Madam President?
Yes, Mr. Gagliardi.
Thank you. So, I've been attending public school board meetings. I was thinking about it in the few minutes since Ms. Ratner asked the question and you acknowledged me, since 1992. And some of you think, God, that guy looks like it's even longer than that, but whatever. So let me just tell you what I see as the most common, rather than comment on what I think is best, although you can ask me that question if you want. So first of all, I'm not aware of any board that I'm involved with right now, we represent dozens, that allows for remote public comment. I'm not aware of any. The typical pattern for public comment, I've never dealt with a board that does the stop the clock thing. Never seen it before, ever, in all these years. The phraseology, and I don't know if this is what Ms. Belko was referring to from school boards, is the board is meeting in public, it's not meeting with the public. And of course, there are many issues of great significance where the public may not be technically entitled to a response, but they need to get one. So what you would see is the public comment period conclude, and the opportunity for the board president to respond or the board president to ask the administration to respond would come right after that. That's what I see most typically. And there are times when the response from the administration is, you know, I don't know the answer. Why don't you call my office tomorrow? We'll schedule a time to speak. The only exception to that I have seen regularly is as follows. There are times when there's an issue of immense public importance. You can tell from the emails you're getting and the size of the crowd. And it may be that the board has met in executive session and has decided that there's going to be a particular agenda item that's of great controversy that's being tabled. It is typical, and in my view courteous, when the first member of the public comes to talk about that, say, look, I'm not going to stop you. You have your opportunity to comment. You ought to know, however, that after consulting with legal counsel or at the direction of the superintendent, it's being referred to a committee or something, that's not moving forward tonight. So the public knows that. But other than that, I have not seen, and I do not suggest that the public be interrupted or engaged. The public speaks, and again, I think it's common courtesy for the board president to acknowledge certain issues or refer certain issues to the administration immediately after that. And I think in terms of courtesy to the public and engaging the public, while that is maybe technically a little bit more than they're entitled to, the truth is if you were to have that conveyed to the public later in the meeting, the people who came to speak have to wait around to know, okay, what's going to happen, right? So that's why I think in my experience you see that opportunity for the board president to address the public come right after the public comment ends, respond to that which needs a response, or to make a reference to the administration. So I think that describes what I've seen and quite frankly, what I think works well in terms of balancing what you're technically obligated to do and what I think is respectful to the public to do. Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome. Anybody else have any questions? Ms. Fabiano?
Just contributing to the conversation, I understand what school boards says about not having that back and forth conversation, but like Ms. Bora said, I do think I don't think that we can go backwards. I don't think we can take that away from the public now that we have offered it. I think it takes back the transparency that's been put forth. So I would be in favor of the clock continuing, giving members of the public their 4 minutes to speak, and then with whatever time is left in their 4 minutes, addressing their questions if we can. I feel like that is the most appropriate way to, go forward. It won't become a back and forth kind of dialogue. It still lets the public have their questions answered in a timely manner, and it still allows us, if we need to say that, if we can't answer your question right now, we'll, get back to you as soon as we possibly can.